There are 3 email marketing sequences that every business should have as part of their email marketing strategy. Let's talk about what those 3 sequences are and take a look at some templates I've created to help you get started writing. But before we dive in, make sure you download the email copy templates at the link in the description so you can go through these while I talk about them. Now, let's get to the good stuff. This is what you're going to see when you sign up for my 3 must-have email marketing copy templates. If you haven't already, the link is in the description. You can go ahead and get this right now. I'm going to go through the 3 types of sequences, what should be in each, and show you how the templates work. So the first sequence you need is the opt-in email sequence. The point of this is to deliver the opt-in, but then also transition people to your regular list. So you're saying, here's the opt-in, here's how to use it, get the most out of it, and here's what you can expect from me in the future now that you're on my list. So I usually recommend 3 to 5 emails for this. You usually can't really do it well with less than 3 emails. It could be more than 5 if you have more to say, but 3 to 5, nice, short, sweet, tight email sequence. So the first email delivers the opt-in. This is basically just saying, hey, you signed up for this thing. Here's how to access it. Here's the value of it. That's it. So each of these templates has sample subject lines that you can use as a starting point, as well as a general template here that you can use to kind of plug in your own details, massage the language so it sounds like you, and you're ready to go. So this opt-in sequence, you're going to mention the opt-in, the name of it, so that they remember, yes, I did download that, or asked to download that. Give them 3 to 5 bullet points that are going to remind them of the value of the thing. The reason for this is people will sign up for a lead magnet that they think is really useful and interesting, but then often never open it. So you don't just want them to sign up for it so that you have their email. You also want them to open it so that they can see the value that you're providing and you can start building that trust so that they can buy from you. So in addition to those bullet points that tell you the value of the opt-in, remind them of why it's valuable, you want to give them a link to actually download or access the thing. The reason for that being they might have signed up for it, got access to it, and had to go do something else, or they closed their browser window or whatever. When it's in an email, they're able to access it whenever they want to. So for each of these templates, you're going to see an example, real life example. Now, when I say real life, I don't mean real because I made up this person and her business, but it gives you an idea of what the actual email might look like for your business, including the massaging of the language. So what I mean by that is this isn't just fill in the blanks, let's send this out. This is actually how she would speak, the details she would include, things like that. So this will give you an example of what your email can look like, and I have an example for each of these templates. So the second email sequence that you need is the welcome email sequence. And the point of the welcome sequence is to welcome people to your world and build that know, like, trust factor that they need to then be comfortable purchasing from you later. Now, some people might say that you cannot sell in a welcome sequence. I am not some people. You can sell in a welcome sequence. Obviously, the point of the sequence is not to sell your stuff. It's to, introduce people to who you are. However, it is an opportunity to sell, and some people will be ready to buy at that point. So I usually recommend saving the sales for the last email or 2, and not really trying to push the sale in the beginning of the welcome sequence because you've got some work to do to kind of introduce yourself and help them get to know you. For a welcome sequence, I usually recommend between 5 and 7 emails. Again, 5 is probably the least you can get away with and do it well. You might have more than 7. It just depends. You really want to think about your goals, but also what you have to say. So if you only have 5 emails worth of things to say, then just use 5 emails. So in terms of the contents of this entire sequence, you're going to talk about who you are, what you do, who you help, how you help them. But I've given you some examples here of other things you might add to the sequence, like your origin stories or how you can work together. So here's that first template in the welcome sequence. That first email is to welcome people to your list, tell them who you are, some things about you, to build that know, like, trust, and then also let them know what they can expect from your email list. So that's important to tell them not only how many emails to expect, but what kind of stuff you're going to be sending them. That makes for no surprises. So if you send 3 emails a week and you tell them up front, they won't think, wow, that's a lot of emails. But if you tell them I'm going to send 1 email a month and send them 5 emails in a week, they're going to be like, what? This is a lot of emails, and they might unsubscribe. So be upfront here. Tell them what they can expect from you. Just a couple other tips for this first email. You want to offer some information about yourself outside of business, just personal things. Doesn't have to be deep, dark secrets. It can be things like, I'm a mom, I have 3 dogs, I love skiing. These kind of things help build that relationship on another level, help give them something to connect to. If you're not a personal brand, or you're not writing this for a personal brand, but more a company, then just think about what makes your company unique. Maybe some personal things about your team, like our team goes on a retreat every year or whatever. Just something that you can give them to connect with outside of business. So here's Layla's example. She talks about who she is, what she does, how she helps people. You'll also see this bolded, italicized section talks about how she's different from other people who do what she does, which is always a great way to kind of distinguish yourself and give your audience something to connect to. You'll notice also at the end of the example email, she offers 10% off her product. You do not have to offer a coupon or anything in your welcome sequence. Sometimes people will use this as an incentive to get on your email list. So you might see a lot of product-based businesses do this. They'll say, sign up for our email list and get 10% off. So if that's something you're using to incentivize, make sure you provide it there, but you don't have to. That's not a strategy that I use. I just thought I'd include it here in case it fits. So the third sequence you need is the sales email sequence. The goal of this sequence is to sell your stuff. You can use this if you're launching something new, or even if it's an evergreen product or service that's offered year round, you can use this as a way to boost sales throughout the year. So I usually recommend 8 to 12 emails. It can be shorter, it can be longer. Again, it just depends on your goals for this. So if your cart is open for a week, you might only have 10 emails. If your cart is open for a month, you might have 20 emails over the course of the entire month. So it just depends on how long the sales cycle is, how long the launch period is. You can really decide that for yourself. There's no right or wrong answer there. One thing I do recommend is having at least 2 to 3 value-packed emails for every straight-up sales email. So the purpose of the sequence is to sell. You're gonna sell in every single email in this sequence. However, some of them will be value-packed, tell a story, entertain, educate, whatever. Some of them are just gonna be, here's the benefits of this thing, here's how you can buy it, go buy it, right? You're gonna have straight up sales emails as well as kind of value-packed sales emails. So the first email in this sequence is to announce the launch, announce the offer, reintroduce the offer if it's an evergreen offer, and real simple email just tells them what it is, what the transformation is, kind of what they're getting as a part of this thing, giving them some details, and here's the sample. So in this case, Lila says it's a 6-week program, tells them the transformation, and then gives them kind of 3 bullet points of like, here's what you're gonna get after 6 weeks. This is a strategy that you can use to kind of highlight what that transformation is. Then she provides the kind of nitty-gritty details. There will be video trainings, guided meditations, journal prompts, and then finally, here's a link to buy this thing. Now, I've also included a PS here. You can always use a PS in an email as a way to add a little extra tidbit. So here she says, not sure if this is right for you, hit reply and let's chat. That's an invitation to the people who just might not be sure if they're ready to buy. And they can email you, you can chat about it and help them decide if it's the right thing. Now that you know the 3 email sequences you need, and you've taken a look at the templates I've created to help you get started writing, it's time to do it for yourself. If you haven't already, make sure that you grab my free email copy templates at the link in the description. I give you the first email in each series, welcome, opt-in, and sales, so that you can get started creating those sequences today. If you want more thrilling email marketing content, make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Until next time.